Hello everyone, this is part 16 of C programming language series. I am Premn Arya. In this video, we will cover dynamic memory location, memory allocation process, malloc functions, calloc function, free function, and realloc function. Dynamic memory allocation. In dynamic memory allocation, allocate memory by the variable at runtime. It is possible by memory management functions that can be used for allocating and freeing memory during program execution. Memory allocations functions. Malloc function, calloc function, and free function are reloc. Malloc function allocate the request size of byte and return a pointer to the first byte of the allocate space. Calloc function allocate space for an array of element, initialize them to 0 and then return a pointer to a function. Basically calloc allocate the multi-block, okay, and malloc allocate the single block. Free function. Free previously allocated space. It means this function free the space which allocated by the malloc and calloc function. Realloc function. Modify the size of previously allocated space. So this diagram shows how to program allocate space in memory. So this local variable stored in a stack. This is free memory space managed by the heap, and global variable and C program instructions stored in permanent storage area. Malloc function. A block of memory allocated using the malloc function. The malloc function reserves a block of memory of specified size and return a pointer of type byte. We can assign it any type of pointer. So here this is the syntax. Pointer is equal to cast type malloc byte size, where pointer is a pointer of type and cast type. Okay, the malloc function return a pointer of cast type to an area of memory with byte size. So here this is the byte size, means how much byte store. Okay, so here this example shows x is equal to int pointer malloc 100 into size of int. So here a memory space of 100 times the size of is a function of int byte is reserved, and the address of a first byte of the memory allocated is assigned to the pointer x of int type. Okay, so this will allocate the space to uh, allocate space and assign to the integer pointer and assign to the x. Okay, so this is the diagram how to space allocate. So this is the CPTR, means the character pointer is equal to character pointer malloc 10. So this indicates 10 means 10 size. So this allocate 10 byte of space for the pointer character pointer of character type. So suppose this is the pointer, okay, CPTR, and address of the first byte. So this address of the first byte, these are the 10 bytes and this character point allocate or point to the first block of this allocated space. The malloc function allocates a memory block of contiguous bytes. The allocation can fail if the null space in the heap is not sufficient to satisfy the request. If fail, then return null. So if suppose we assign the 10 and suppose the 10 byte space not available in memory, so the control or the response will shows the memory not sufficient and it will fail to return the null. Okay, so this is the program of how to allocate memory. So simple here we declare header files, and this is the defined null is equal to 0. Okay, so here we take two variables, integer type, pointer p, pointer table, int size, print what is the size of table. So this function asks to, when we execute the program, so same statement ask what is the size of table. So scan function, scan means we input some size, we see in the output. So this ask what is the size of the table. So suppose we give enter 5. So this scanner function store the 5 value in the size variable, and here this is shows if table is equal to int pointer malloc size of int. So this function will allocate the memory and is equal to null. So this is the memory allocation function. Suppose suppose this is the equal to null. Okay, suppose this condition is equal to null, so this will print no space available and it will exit. Okay, and this condition is not null. Okay, so this the space will allocate, and here the printf function ask, okay, the control switch and address of the first byte is. So here the this will print the address of the first byte. So here will print the address of, suppose we enter the 5, so the 5 address will print here, address of first byte. And the second statement ask input table values. So here ask input table values, so we input 5 values because we give the 5. Okay, so we give the 5 values. So this for loop used to store the 5 time value. Okay, so this run the 5 time. Okay, p is equal to table, p less than table, and the size, the plus size, and p plus plus. Okay, so this will run 5 time. Okay, and scanf %dp. So this is p value variable store the value. Okay, 5 time values, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All 5 values will store by this for loop, and this for loop will print the all 5 values. Okay, for p is equal to table plus size minus 1, p greater than is equal to table p minus minus. So this will print. So these 5 values will print. 25 is stored in at address 4470. So all values address will print 5 times. Okay. So I think you understand the how to allocate the space by malloc function in the program. Calloc function. The calloc function allocates multiple blocks of storage, each of the same size. The general form of calloc is, so this is the general form, pointer type cast type calloc and element size. So this allocate the contiguous space for n blocks, each of size element size bytes. Okay, so this is the element size and this is the n variable. Okay, and this size assigned to the pointer. Okay, this is the cast type pointer. Okay, so here all bytes initialized to 0 and a pointer to the first byte of the allocated region is returned. So if there is not enough space, a null pointer is returned. Okay, so here if the size is not available, so the null pointer will return, means there is no space. So this is example. Here is the simple structure, and here we use type def struct student record. Okay, so here record student pointer. So we make a pointer with student class type, and here int class size is equal to 30. So student pointer is equal to record pointer calloc class size of record. Okay, so record this will allocate the size of 30. Okay, to assign to the record. So this statement shows how to allocate the space by the calloc function. Free function. With the dynamic runtime allocation, it is our responsibility to release the space when it is not required. Okay, so the release of storage space become important when the storage is limited. We not no need of block of memory. It may be released that block of memory for future use using free function. So this is free function, and the pointer will free means pointer allocate the memory. So pointer free the memory. Okay. So pointer is a pointer to a memory block which has already been created by a malloc or calloc function. So here this is the two condition. Use of invalid pointer in a call may create problem and cause system crash. So the first is the it is not the pointer that is the being released by, rather what it points to. And to release an array of memory that was allocated by calloc, we need only to release a pointer once. Okay. Realloc function. So here we discuss two cases, case 1 and case 2. Okay, so in case 1, the previously allocated memory is not sufficient and we need additional space for more elements. Okay, and in case 2, the memory allocated is much larger than necessary and we want to reduce it. Okay, so these two cases is required to reallocate memory. If we not have sufficient memory, so we again reallocate, or we have the larger memory, so we reduce the memory. Okay, suppose here we allocate 50 bytes and we require 100 in case 1, and in case 2 we allocate 100 memory but we require only 20 bytes. So this is the two cases. Okay, so we again modify the allocated memory by using the allocate function. In both cases, we can change the memory size already allocated with the help of the function realloc. So this process is called reallocation of memory. So the original allocation is done by the following. So we allocate the memory by using malloc function, and we will free by we reallocate the memory, or we modify the memory. So here pointer is equal to realloc pointer new size. So this is the new size, will modify the size. Okay, so this our function allocate a new memory size space of size new size to the pointer value variable pointer and return a pointer to first byte of a new memory block. The new size may be larger or smaller than the size. Okay, so this is the program and shows how to reallocate memory. So first we allocate the memory, and then we reallocate and the free. So all functions used in this program. So here this is the character pointer buffer, and if the buffer is equal to character pointer malloc 10. Okay, so this will allocate the 10 size. If this is equal to null, so this will return the malloc failed. If this is true, then this will use the printf buffer of size created m size buffer. Okay, so this message will print and shows the buffer size. Okay, so the buffer size means the buffer size is %d m size buffer. Okay, so here the string copy buffer Bhopal. Okay, so here we use the string copy function and the buffer will copy Bhopal to buffer. So here the buffer size is print the Bhopal. Okay, so this will print the same message, and the next is the printf buffer contain uh, string. Okay, %s buffer. So if buffer is equal to character size reallocate buffer 15 is equal to null. So here we reallocate the size. Here this is the Bhopal is sufficient for print 10 character. Okay, and here this is the we reallocate the buffer size 15. Okay, this is the reallocation. So if the 15 is available, so this will allocate the memory, otherwise it will show the reallocation failed. So we reallocate and it will buffer size modified. So this message will print and the buffer still contain buffer. So here we copy the string Madhya Pradesh. So this is the more than 10 bytes. So this the Madhya Pradesh will store in the buffer. Okay, so this will print the buffer not contain. And the free buffer means the buffer we store the 10 byte and 15 bytes. So this will buffer variable will uh, free the size of 10 and 15 bytes which allocated by the malloc function. So here the output, first the buffer of size 10 created. Okay, so buffer content Bhopal. The buffer size is modified, so this message will modified. Okay, the buffer is still contain Bhopal. Okay, the buffer will still contain Bhopal, but we copy the buffer in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, this, so this again the print the Madhya Pradesh buffer now contain the Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so thank you guys. If you have any query related to this video, so you can write in comment box. Thank you.